So you're thinking about applying for the Destination Thailand visa, but maybe you're not sure about the process. Maybe you're confused on what kind of documents you need to submit. Well, have no fear, because I'm going to show you the step-by-step process I went through, and I'm going to show you exactly what I submitted to get my DTV approved. And so stick around, because I'm going to give you the play-by-play right after this. All right, so let's talk about the DTV. First of all, what is it, and then who can apply for it? Well, it's basically a 5-year visa that allows multiple entries, and you can stay in the country up to 180 days at a time. So basically, you land in Thailand, they stamp your passport for 180 days, and then you just have to do a border run, leave the country, go back to your home country, come back, you get another 180 days, and that goes on for 5 years. And who can apply for it? Well, they basically have 3 different categories. One is the workcation, and that's for the digital nomads, remote workers, freelancers, those kind of folks. The next category is the soft power, and I don't know a whole lot about that, but apparently it's for people, I guess, training in Muay Thai, taking Thai cooking courses, language courses, or people that are going there for medical treatments, dental treatments. And then the last category is the spouse or children. And this is basically, for if you're married to someone that's got a Destination Thailand visa, or if you're a child under the age of 20 years old of that DTV holder, then those folks can also apply for the DTV, which makes sense. If they want the families to be able to stay together. And so that's the 3 categories of people that can apply for it. Like I said, I applied under the workcation section, so that's the one I'm going to talk about, because honestly I don't know anything about the Thai soft power. You'll have to watch another YouTuber for information on that. But the required documents for the DTV under the workcation category is the biodata page of your visa, the picture page of your passport, excuse me. So the biodata page of your passport, that's the picture page. You got to have proof of residence in whatever home country. You got to have a picture of yourself, basically a selfie standing in front of a white wall. You have to have proof of 500,000 Thai baht, which in the United States in US dollars, that works out to a little over $15,000. And then lastly, you have to have some supporting documentation to prove your status as a digital nomad, remote worker, freelancer, content creator, that kind of thing. And so that's what you're going to need before you get started. And also, you will need 400, in the United States, the fee is 400 US dollars. So you got to have that available to apply. So to apply, I just basically Googled Thai e-visa, and the first website that popped up was the Thai e-visa website. So you go to their homepage, and you go to the upper right-hand corner. There's a little button to create an account. That's what I clicked on. Very self-explanatory. Takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Creating a username, password. They'll send you an email verification to click on, and then once you get that set up, you go back in, log in, and it'll take you to your dashboard. On your dashboard, there's going to be a button for apply for new visa, and you'll just click on that. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on all of that because it's very self-explanatory. I'll just highlight the main portions that you need to focus on, because it's going to ask you for your name, home country, nationality, your passport info, your travel information, your where you're going to stay in Thailand. And just to touch on that real quick, I just had a hotel reservation. I put the name of the hotel, the address, that was good. And as far as the travel information, I just they ask for the date that the date that you're gonna enter the country. So I just, I put the date that my flight's gonna land, and then I just added 60 days to that. And so that was what I used for my entry and exit dates, and that seemed to work just fine. And of course I put Bangkok is where I'm landing. So all of that information is going to be specific to each individual watching this video, so you just fill it out accordingly. Where I will spend a little time talking is when it comes to they're going to ask about the biodata page of your passport. So there's going to be a page where you're going to actually take a picture of your picture page of your passport, and you have to make sure you crop that down to just showing that page. You got to make sure it's under 3 megabytes, and then you just submit it. And you got to make sure all the information on that picture page is viewable. And then you're also going to submit a picture of yourself. And what I did was simply stand in front of a white wall in my house and took a selfie. I cropped it down to get it underneath the 3 megabytes, submitted it, no problem. And that's pretty much the bulk of the information there. And then the final step is going to be the supporting documents for the DTV. And what they're going to be looking for and what you're going to be submitting is you're going to submit proof of your residence in the country that you currently reside in. So for me, the United States. And what I used was a property tax form. And I got that from my local tax office, submitted that. And that worked. And then proof of the 500,000 Thai baht. And what I did for that is I simply just took my latest bank statement, uploaded it. It's good to go. And then they ask for the documentation for your remote worker status and digital nomad status. And so what I did is because it says something about a professional portfolio, and so I just Googled professional portfolio, found the right template or one that looked good to me, and I just customized it. Put my name, address, all of the professional portfolio at the top, and then I just had like 3 little simple paragraphs. One paragraph on the work. In my case, I'm contracted as an independent travel agent, so I put a little verbiage in there. The company I was affiliated with, the position, travel agent, the dates I was employed, and then the second paragraph had to do with my YouTube channel. Just the name of my channel, what kind of content I create. And then the fact that I was a Google AdSense partner, put that in there. And then the last paragraph, I put in just basically, showcasing that, I had other sources of income to support myself. So even if I'm not making money as a digital nomad, I've got this other income, these other investments that will, keep me from not having to be a drain on the Thai government. If they decide if there's an emergency and I need to get back home, I can afford to fund myself back home. Or God forbid, if for whatever reason they decide to deport me, I can pay my way back. So I just wanted to highlight that to alleviate those concerns. And then I attached my employment contract with the company that I do business with. And then I also put in some screenshots of my YouTube channel, and then I just kind of combined those 3 into one big PDF document and submitted it. And then after that, the only thing left was to pay the $400 fee. And I paid that, got a receipt, and then once I did all of that, I was ready to submit it, so I submitted it. And once you submit it, it will, you'll have a status page on your dashboard, so you can track what's going on. And so once you submit it, it'll basically say processing, and it'll say something about, you know, documents being reviewed. And so I submitted all of that on the weekend. And it was basically on a Saturday night. I uploaded all that, you know, submitted the application. And then I heard back from them on the following Thursday. They sent me an email basically saying that, hey, we need two additional documents. One of the documents was a copy of my 2024 tax return, but they specifically wanted the one that comes from the IRS. So not the paperwork I filed, but they want the one generated by the IRS. So I went there, downloaded it, uploaded it to the Thai e-Visa site. And then the other thing they wanted was a self-employment verification letter. Now, again, I didn't know what that was, so I Googled it, and you'll get all kinds of different, you know, templates out there. I just looked for the most basic, simple one, and I downloaded it, and I just I put in the specific information that they were asking for, and so they actually outlined it in the email that they wanted the my full name, the job title or position that I was going to be remote working in, whether or not and then they also wanted me to indicate if I was going to be a remote worker, digital nomad, whatever. They wanted how long that I was in the position. And lastly, they wanted a actual hand signature. So they didn't want like a digital signature, electronic signature. They wanted it actually printed out, hand signed, scanned, uploaded. And so that's what I did. And, you know, I just made sure that I always put specifically what they were looking for. I didn't try to add things or, you know, go off the script. I'd stick to exactly what they add. I think that's an important thing to remember, because they're probably looking at, I don't know how many applications. So just to save time, just give them what they're asking for. You know, I was a little nervous because, you know, you pay your $400 and they even tell you, you know, even if they disapprove it, you don't get that $400 back. So you got to keep that in mind. So make sure, you know, spend a little bit of time putting all your stuff together. Make sure that you qualify and submit your application, you know, once you've got all that, once you feel comfortable with it. And so, yeah, that's what I did. It was an easy application process from start to finish. I was surprised that I got it back approved within 1 week. Just some advice, some tips, some points of interest for this whole process. I mean, I know for some people, you know, having that $15,000 in the bank that might be challenging, but, you know, I don't know what the answer is to that. I guess, I don't know, maybe if it's that important to you, sell something or take out a loan or something. I don't know that I would tell people to take a loan out, but, you know, everybody's got to look at their own situation. For me, it just made sense, and I had the opportunity to do it. And, you know, initially I was looking at the retirement visa, but there was a lot of hoops to jump through with that, you know, getting the Thai bank account. And that, of course, now they're cracking down on foreigners getting Thai bank accounts, because I guess there's been some scamming going on. I think they're starting to loosen up on that a little bit more, but and then the fact that you have to do 90-day check-ins, and you have to you know, reapply you have to renew every year. And so it's just a lot more to jump, you know, hassle, if you ask me. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I mean, believe me, if they didn't have the DTV, I still would have applied for the retirement visa. But I think this one got more advantages for me. It's you know, gives me a 5-year window. I don't have to renew it. I don't have to check in with immigration every 90 days. I don't have to go through the rigmarole of getting the Thai bank account and transferring money over and having money in that account that's, you know, that I can't touch. You know, just a lot lot of things about it. And when I found out about this visa, I figured I'd give it a shot. And now I'm very happy that I got approved. So we'll see what happens down the road if I end up going and applying for the retirement visa later. Maybe I'll make a video on that. But yeah, I also want to point out, just in case anybody was wondering, because it is a 5-year visa, you might be wondering, well, what if I've got a passport that's only got 4 years left on it? And can I still apply, and will I get approved? Well, I can answer that question right now, and the answer is that I only had, and I didn't realize this until after I had submitted. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't catch it. But I only had 4 years left on my passport. And so once I figured that out, I thought, oh no, they're gonna disapprove this visa. I'm gonna lose my $400. But no, they approved it. And now they did make a comment in the remarks section on the visa that my passport does expire in 4 years. So what does that mean? Well, effectively it means my DTV is not going to be for 5 years. It's going to be only for 4 years, because once my passport expires and I have to renew it, then that means that this visa is probably not going to be any good, because the visa is attached to that passport number. And whenever you renew your passport, you're going to have a different number. So, but that's no biggie. It's still worth it to me, because I'll get almost 4 years worth of use out of it. And for $400, I think it's a bargain. Again, not having to renew every year and deal with that. So yeah, that's all there is to know about it. And I hope I answered your questions. Let me know in the comments section if there's anything I didn't cover that you got a question about, and throw that in the comments section. I'll definitely get back to you. I hope you enjoyed this video, got something out of it. If you like this kind of content, consider hitting the thumbs up on the way out, and consider subscribing. It's 1000% free, helps the channel grow, helps push the message out to the masses. And I truly appreciate anybody that watches, likes, subscribes, shares, and comments. Hope you're having a great week, and I will see you on the next video. So take care, everybody.